Today on The Dish, a taste of northern Italy by way of New York City's Flatiron District, thanks to chef Stefano Secchi. Back in 2019, Secchi opened Rezdora, his take on the foods of the Emilia Romagna region of Italy he'd been eating since childhood. A 3-star New York Times review would follow, and a Michelin star in 2021. And while that's made one of Rezdora's 60 seats awfully hard to get, the accolades haven't changed what you'll find once you get there. A restaurant built on tradition with a chef who's woven a story into every bite.
Chef Stefano Secchi has created more than just another New York Italian restaurant.
We don't take ourselves very serious, but we take, what we do very serious, and pasta being really important for us.
All homemade.
Everything, yep.
At Rezdora, which loosely translates to nonna or grandmother,
One, fettunta two.
he's brought a piece of them
Grazie.
and Italy to New York.
This is one of those ragouts that I made with the nonnas at Osteria Giusti many times, with like Laura Morandi, and it's one of those things that, wow, you just want to kind of sit and think about it, right? So,
No, I want to eat more. No, I don't want to sit and think about it. I want to eat more.
all right.
The tagliolini, served with ragu modenese, is one of around 24 pastas on the Rezdora menu.
Giuseppe, dietro di quel cacio c'è un gnocco fritto, huh?
With Secchi leading diners on a gastronomic journey through the Emilia Romagna region of Italy.
You need to grab a gnocco fritto because these are still piping hot. You have mortadella there from Bologna.
Do I just take a bite of this?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I do.
It's going to be messy.
It's hot, but you want to fold it over like this, and like a nice little pocket.
Oh.
Brava.
That's good.
I was lucky enough to get a private tour.
A lot of the dishes are just based on like memories that I have either growing up, going to Italia, and or working there.
Like these black truffle lobster girasole.
We used to go to Rimini, and we used to take the train there, and you'd see sunflowers on the way. And what would you eat? You'd eat seafood, right?
It literally is. That's a little sunflower.
Yeah, it should be like a little sunflower. So the idea is you have that black truffle with the beautiful lobster and a little bit of lobster stock to make the sauce.
I love that it's a little work of art, too.
There was also the uovo raviolo di Nino Berghese, a tribute to the chef who made the original dish famous in the region. This seasonal variation is topped with white truffle and brown butter, filled with ricotta and egg yolk.
Like a farm fresh egg inside.
Yeah.
And it's dark orange. Like we have the best eggs you can get your hands on.
You have worked tirelessly to get these eggs.
8-9 months to figure out how to get the right eggs. We actually get them from the south now, believe it or not, from Arkansas. Comanda macho gramigna, guys. Put it, order fire, yeah?
Secchi calls the gramigna giallo e verde the sleeper,
Fettuta sta arrivando, gramigna.
served with slow-braised sausage ragu in bianco. Far more decadent is Rezdora's contemporary version of agnolini, filled with 24-month-old prosciutto, mortadella, and pork shoulder, topped with Parmigiano sauce, with the signature cheese also aged for 2 years. And for us, finished with a century-old aceto balsamico.
Oh, that balsamic. It just brings out a flavor.
I'm gonna give you another one because you're gonna ask me for another one.
No, I'm just going to reach over and take it.
That works
You're
too.
kidding.
That works too.
And then there's the one dish Secchi says he can never take off the menu. Grandma walking through forest in Emilia, based off Sundays spent eating at the homes of local nonnas. It's cappelletti pasta with braised and sautéed leeks, parmigiano, and a porcini mushroom base.
This nonna, we used to go out in her backyard and find like porcini, and she would roast porcini, braise leeks, and then we would make this cappelletti is based off the Romagna region, Emilia Romagna. Those are memories that you put together. You're like, oh, how do you find a way to incorporate and tell a story?
How do you make that story into a pasta? Has she ever had this pasta?
I'm trying to get her to come over.
Oh, come over.
Can you like?
No,
yeah, please.
Come over.
I'm gonna
Come
send this
over. How much fun is it for you to create these taste memories?
Amazing, right? I mean,
Your eyes just said it.
if you're going to do this as a job, then you should probably just be all in. If not, then why do it? Nick, you got a second course Borra Reale Fettunta together, yeah?
Secchi grew up in Texas, one of 3 kids born to immigrant parents, including an Italian father. While they ran a restaurant and sent him back to Italy each summer, Secchi says he didn't always see food as his calling.
My parents had me working really early. I would be like basketball, football practice, or baseball, or whatever, and then like I would have to go right to work. Like I could never finish practice, and like that makes you bitter. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. And like you don't see that back then, but now I can't thank my parents enough.
He says it all changed when he graduated high school, enrolled in the Culinary Institute of America, and moved to New York City.
I externed in the city here, cooking, and that's when I was finally around places where people were like really taking it serious is when I got fired up. And then I was eating around a lot, and I still never tasted the food that I'd eaten in Italia for so long.
So that's where he headed, living in Modena for the next 3 years, learning his craft from both nonnas and masters.
You should pay homage to these people that have been doing it for so long and so well, and respect it. You should learn how the basics are done. We talk about contemporary pasta girasole or a classic pasta gramigna, tagliolini, agnolini to an extent, uovo raviolo. These are the classics, right? And so learn how the classics are done, and then you can be contemporary and find ways to like work.
Speaking of that girasole,
Good, right?
Chef was kind enough to give me a quick lesson in creating the Rezdora favorite.
See where there's an edge? Pinch.
And while I didn't exactly show his promise,
Mine's not looking as pretty as yours.
No, non è vero.
How many points am I supposed
Should
to
be
get?
6 all in.
Secchi, like the nonnas back in Modena, takes an obvious pride in the traditions he learned
Grazie. Perfetto. That's a beauty. Look at that.
and continues to pass on, be it by touch or taste.
Grazie.
Life is short. When you find out what you want to do, start becoming obsessed with it. Things become pretty cool.
Is that where you are right now?
I hope. Yeah. I mean, I'm like.
Obsessed and pretty cool?
Yeah. Dana, it's the best business. Your job is to make people happy every day. Put food in people's mouths where people are like, oh my God. Like you're out of the kitchen and you're in the dining room and you're just watching like customers talk to each other and they don't even say a word and they just shake their head and smile. That's all you need, right? That's our job, is just to make people happy. I mean, it's crazy, but that's cool. It's incredibly cool.
And you taste that in every bite. Obviously, we brought you a couple samplings here. And I got to tell you, think about this. When we were there, 27 pastas across the menus.
Wow.
There were only 60 seats in the restaurants. I mean, it's just insane. Absolutely insane.
I love how much he loves his job.
Right.
Yeah.
And the tradition behind it. Learn from the nonnas. The grandmothers know. They know.
What do we have there again on the table?
So, Grandma walking through the forest in Emilia.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, now I'm talking with my mouth full. And the gramigna giallo e verde, that's this. And the green and yellow pasta, it's supposed to be like the hay. It's got the, I believe it's a slow-roasted sausage ragu that's with it. And the idea is that he was telling me it's like the transition from winter to spring and the
Nice.
color of all of it.
Great job.
Just absolutely delicious.
Really cool.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Dana.